Hello waffle watchers. As you can see, I'm not in the UK. This is not Skegness. Rhonda and I are back in Portugal, but by the time you see this, we'll be back home. We came to Portugal last weekend and we're coming back tonight. This is Saturday. You can just see not many people on the beach here. It's quite cool here. It's 19 degrees, so cool for Portugal. We're at Valdelobo, where we come quite regularly, and we've got Maria's just behind us. You can see there. So that's we're having a good afternoon here as it's our last afternoon. Just before we get into this update and what we're doing, I just wanted to mention, if anybody is still planning on drilling any spring crops, there is some naked oat seed available, so please ring Gemma Cope or Harry in the office at Sleaford, and their number is 01529 421 081, and ask for Gemma or Harry if you're still interested in growing some spring crops. There is some oat seed available. And also, one other thing to highlight, we have got our Agri Summer Open Day on June the 5th at the farm at Leadenham. We're going to be on the light land this time. That's the first time we've had our open day on the light land, and that's because we've got all the crops growing up there, whereas we haven't on the clay soils. I'll give you full details on that a bit nearer the time. I just wanted to now touch on last week's update. So those of you who saw, we had there's some flooding issues from John at the end of last week's update, and this is John on the latest from his flooding situation at Tattershall.
Hello Andrew, just giving you a quick update on what's been happening down here. As you can see, no improvement. We've had 2 weeks now and we've done nothing. We're still waiting, I presume, on the clay. Yeah, the only thing that has changed is we've got some more red sticks, which must mean danger. So Monday I rang the lady at the EA who contacted me a little while ago. She didn't answer her phone. I rang her again on Tuesday, didn't answer her phone. She then did ring me back Tuesday and asked the question, what's going on. She said she would have a word with the project manager and get back to me, and I'm still waiting, so we don't know what is going on. So just a little bit further up from where the breach is, I just thought I'd show you what the state of the river is, which it carries a lot of water from Horncastle direction, which then goes into the Witham, and I think, like I say, if you look at that, yeah, good, isn't it? A few weeks ago, the EA sent down 2 people to do a water valve assessment. Don't know what they found out. No doubt they'll have to do a report. But yeah, just shows where we are with the EA. I would just like to thank the Witham Drainage Board, who have been absolutely brilliant through all this. Always at the end of a phone, always, you know, trying to help and trying to, you know, put men on the ground. Yeah, they work on a lot less funds and do a far better job than what the EA do. So we've got all this plant on hire, hasn't moved for 2 weeks now. I think as a taxpayer, I think this is a bit disgusting, really. We're just having a walk over the grass fields that was flooded for all that period of time. I think, as you can see, the grass has died. I don't think we'll be getting a cut of hay off this field this year. I think it'll have to be reseeded and go again next year. That is just starting to green up, but I think it's more black grass than it is grass. But yeah, it's 18 months now before we get an income off these fields.
So thanks John for that. As you can see, not a lot of change, which is not good enough really from the Environment Agency, so I'll keep you informed on that one. Some of you know young farmers do an awful lot for Forage Aid. That's the charity that I co-founded 2013, I think it was now, and young farmers clubs around the country are really supportive. I've done a couple of talks at young farmers clubs in the last 10 days or so about Forage Aid, and one of those clubs was Holland and District up near Boston, and then the other club was Harmston Young Farmers. And when I was at Harmston Young Farmers last week, I was presented with a cheque. Look at this fantastic amount, £1,700 to Forage Aid, which is fantastic, and that was for the tractor run that they did just after Christmas, actually. I think it was December the 27th or 8th that I featured on Wardage Waffle. So thank you ever so much for everybody who contributed to that, and all young farmers for decorating the tractors and getting everything put together, because I know these things do take an awful lot of organising and a lot of carrying out. So thank you so much. It's massively appreciated by everybody. And I must say that the money that all these charities raise and the amount that young farmers raise goes towards fantastic causes, and we will use it really, really wisely in Forage Aid to help with supporting livestock farmers in their times of need. So thank you ever so much from all Young Farmers Clubs. So, getting on to this update, some of you might remember going back to update, I think it was 240, where I was in Ireland and I put up some footage of Deeside Agri Services. They are one of the companies that we visited. They are grain merchants as well as selling chemicals and fertilisers, and have got their own shop. And I was really fortunate while we were there to go to Drogheda docks, and there was a vessel being loaded with oats that Deeside Agri Services had bought from farmers, and it was their oats going on a boat. So I've got some really good footage here of that, and the rest of this update's all from loading the boat at the docks. I was fortunate as well to be asked onto the boat as it was being loaded, so I've got some great footage of how a boat and a vessel is loaded with crops at the docks. So I hope you enjoy this update, and thanks very much for watching. You can see great nice sun at the minute, but by the time you see this, as I say, I'll be back in England. We have got sugar beet to get in the ground still on our heavy land. Not quite sure how we're going to do that yet, but we'll touch on that in next week's update. So from Portugal here, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this update and how vessels are loaded at docks, and if you make it to the end, we'll see you then. It's the last morning of our visit to Ireland, and we're in Drogheda. I think that's how you pronounce it. Some of the oats that we saw when the shadow went in, it's been loaded on a boat behind me on the river. So I'll just show you from this hotel window, but we're going to go down to the dockside and actually see the boat, see the vessel being loaded. There's the river, and there is the boats, and you can see the front one it's got the lids up. That's the one that's being loaded at the minute. We'll go down to the dockside there and just have a look what's going on. So this is where we are, and that viaduct, that bridge there, that's the Belfast to Dublin rail line, according to Billy. My knowledge isn't as good.
That's correct.
That's correct, that's right. I wouldn't know that. And what's that then, Billy? What's that?
That's the old Drogheda oil and cake. It was oil stores.
Yeah.
Animal fats, yeah, liquefied, but again, yeah.
But then there looks like some new tanks to the side there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We'll better go and get high-vis and hats on. So we're all high-vised up. We've got Shane here, and Shane's the agent for this. So where's this vessel going?
In Spain.
Spain?
Yeah.
We noticed as well, Billy said you tip it on the quayside here rather than have an elevator.
Yeah, well, it's just there's just not huge exports out of Ireland, so you know this is the most efficient way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Billy, this is Billy. Started Deeside. You were saying, when did you do it?
1992.
1992, and crikey, and it's grown to what it is. And those viewers have seen it in the previous video to this. Went round with Ronan, and fantastic business.
Yeah.
How many do you employ?
27.
Wow, brilliant.
We do a lot of. We handle about just shy of 100,000 tons of grain each year.
Yeah.
We would export a lot of boats of oilseed rape and a number of cargoes of oats each year.
Fantastic. Right, this is the vessel.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We'll just turn the camera around and have a look. So this gantry lifts the lids and seals it, keeps the weather off it. It's all tipped, and then it's loaded with a grab. The bobcat keeps the neat and tidy. So he's moving all the lids to that end.
That end, and on that end.
Right.
So then the crane then can have the lorries tipping on both sides of them.
Right, got you.
Yeah, so it's quicker.
Yes, I can see that, yeah. And does that lift, does that stay on the boat all the time?
That crane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stays on the boat.
It's a gantry crane.
Yeah. Yeah. What they're doing is they're just clearing that heap up, and they're going to then tip the heap here, and it'll be quicker loading, and they'll be able to tip more than one lorry, because at the minute there they can only tip one load apparently at a time. The crane's just coming back for one more lift. You can just see 2 hooks there, and they go onto the hooks. You just see the white bits there in the middle of the screen. You can see now he's got that lid, and they're going to put it up on top of those. There we are, you can see the hooks there. So this boat's off to Spain. I'll try and find out soon what it weighs, because there's 3,000 tonnes of oats going on it, but oats don't weigh anywhere near as heavy as wheat. So the whole of that deck now is open, with the lids at one end and the lids at the other. It'd be good to go up there on there, but I don't think we'll be allowed. Very lucky to be able to come right on the quayside. Behind us, somewhere in that truck there, is a guy from SGS.
Correct.
And they are
the qualitative people. They measure the quality, they assess the standards, that the cargo is fit for purpose, basically.
And will they inspect to make sure it's clean before they start loading?
The whole of the ship is inspected, make sure that it's fit for purpose and that the key is fit for purpose and the machinery. So nothing happens until it's passed by SGS.
Right, great. You can see there's not a lot left there. Then we're going to move nearer to us here.
I know what you mean.
You were well trained. You were well trained, right?
You already used to practice with you.
That's how to clean up off concrete. So he's now moving up here. So we've got some lorries rolling up now. This one's on the weighbridge ready to tip. So we've got there'll be a lot coming now, because they'll be able to tip more lorries at the same time. So it's lifting the cab up so they can see over the side. This is the first one now. This long line's going to be tipping. There's the banksman just directing him back. So another lorry coming in now. I'm going to be tipping that side, so it'll be a lot quicker. See the dust with oats. So I've got John here from SGS. You're the quality control.
That's correct.
Yeah,
right,
and we're just saying, look at that, for 10.5 moisture, 59.2 kilogram bushel. It should be over 54.
54. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the. Can't beat that. What part
Brilliant.
of Lincolnshire are you from?
Near RAF Cranwell. Do you know that area?
Yeah. I was in college in Cato.
Oh well, I'm 5 minutes from there.
Yeah, know it well.
We bought some land on the edge of the college.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, right on the hill going down from the college. Brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
I started doing this in Boston.
Ah, yeah. There's a lot goes through Boston, isn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Do you still go there?
I do, yeah. I was over there last week in Gainsborough.
Oh, right, it's all around me. This is the face of the voice you've just heard. So, John, your job is to make sure that loading's carried out correct?
Correct, yes. I inspect the holds of the ship before it's loaded in to make sure everything's 100% correct.
Yeah.
And then we go to cleaning the key walls, make sure that's good, and then test every single load that is loaded.
You test every load, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and this, I believe, is off to Spain.
Yes,
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, if you
I'll be here for the whole duration of this loading.
And this vessel is 3,000 tonnes.
Yes.
Yeah, and when does this got to be loaded by? When is it away?
Tomorrow morning.
Right,
But it's going to hit the tide tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Yes, of course, the river's tidal, isn't it?
Yes.
So you've got to wait for the tide to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Great, thanks, John.
No problem at all.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Some pressure on that. Squeeze it together like that.
I only do Dublin.
So John has very kindly said we can go on the vessel with him, so we're just going to go up here and have a look from above, which would be brilliant.
And there's an IMO number. So the IMO number stays the same. So you can change the colour, you can change the name, but the IMO of the ship will always stay the same.
And so that is unique to this vessel.
Yeah. So you can see a list, like if you're.
Oh, you can see where it's been around the world.
Well, you can see basically all the names it's had since it's been made. Like.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Where have we gone down here? So these are the lids. You can see by my hand how big they are. So 1, 2, 3. So he's now grabbing some from the other load that was tipped. Just looking a bit closely at these lids, you can see how they're watertight because you've got a lip here to stop any water going in there, and then you've got another lip there, and then here, this is the locking pin. You can see how it will drop in and drop into there, and so that seals it. So all of them have got that at one end and then this at the other, and that's how they all lock into place and create it watertight. So obviously when they get out to sea, rough sea and everything, and when this is loaded it'll sink a lot lower into the water. So there's another lorry just tipped the load. Just having a change of driver. So just while they're doing that, John, those viewers who heard John mention a few minutes ago about Caythorpe, that used to be an agricultural college when I get my teeth in, and it's only a few miles from me, so it's ironic that we've come all the way across to Ireland and met John, who spent time at Caythorpe College. And you were saying you met your wife there as well?
I did, yeah. She was doing horse studies.
Ah, incredible. Let's move this microphone and get that. So yeah, they did have a bigger question thing there. So what did you, well, you said you worked on the farm there as well?
I did. I worked on an arable farm, 3,500 acres.
Wow.
Farm manager.
Yeah, all there. And then when did you come over here to Ireland?
We moved back here in 2005.
So yeah, nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then does this job SGS take you all over Europe or?
Oh no,
I'm
I'm self-employed, so
I see.
I work for a lot of different companies.
Yeah. And the commodities here, I didn't think much was exported out of Ireland.
Very little. We export quite a lot of oilseed rape.
Yeah.
And also oats,
yeah.
On and off.
Yeah. But no wheat. There's not a lot.
No, there's not enough wheat in Ireland to export.
Think there would be. No, that's right.
We import it from England instead.
Oh, do you import it from us?
Till you went and did the old Brexit.
Oh, don't remind me about that. I voted to stay in, but obviously my vote didn't count.
Didn't count.
No.
Yeah.
Just talking also, there's a big hoo-ha at home at the minute about Red Tractor. You know the assurance.
Yes, I know the assurance. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nightmare at the minute. The supermarkets are driving everything, and there's so much wrong with the scheme. So we've got a big review about to start about it now.
Yes, I agree totally with that.
You do.
I do. Yeah. And it's the same here in Ireland. We've got the equivalent Board BIA quality standard.
Yes,
that has to be
I've heard of that.
So, But it's the way they go about it, because you can put that sticker on a lot of things that of imported products that are processed here.
Yeah.
And they were sticking it's like the Red Tractor episode as well.
Yeah.
So
I know. It's just wrong. And so is your Irish scheme as onerous as Red Tractor, or is as detailed?
it is, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
And do the supermarkets drive it or not, or aren't they involved?
The Irish supermarkets drive it. It's the English supermarkets, the Tesco's and the likes they are driven by price only, and that's you know that.
Yeah. There's some new modules just coming out now to do with green carbon and things,
the
and
carbon,
the
yeah.
just a nightmare. Anyway, won't get into that, John, because I get so wound up.
We won't get a political atmosphere going here.
No, but I say thank you very much for letting us on this vessel here. It's fantastic.
You're very welcome.
Seeing it loaded, and so you can see that going in behind us there. It's just fantastic.
And a beautiful viaduct in the background.
I know, with the train that went across it a minute ago. So no, great, John. We've got to get off to Finnegan, so thank you. So I've just come down forwards, but looking at how John does it, that's how you do it. So St. John, that's how you come down. Looks like I've got high heels on. So that's it, we've got to go now, but great to meet John, who's sort of quality control. What a nice guy, and to think that he went to college on the edge of where we farm now, which is unreal. Here's all the lorries you can see, some more here lined up, waiting to come on. And there's the vessel behind us. Anyway, that's brilliant. So there you go, fascinating look at the docks and how a vessel's loaded. Hope you've enjoyed that. One last thing, Billy, in England at home, when we sell grain to a merchant, we're paid more or less dead on 28 days after the contract or after that load's been delivered. Is it the same here?
No, there's no set rules. Payment would depend on basically when the farmer wants it. Sometimes for their own personal reasons, they might want money within a day, 2 days after delivering.
And you don't knock them anything off the price you bought it for?
No, there'd be no deductions. The price is the price. And then sometimes they might leave it for, a month, 2 months if they don't have a cash flow issue.
Yeah.
So it's no strict rules. Basically, the farmer controls it. When he wants it, he gets it.
Yeah. Well, that's really good, because it's not like that over our way. Definitely not at all.
No, there'd never be deductions for a quick payment. Sometimes, indeed, farmers get paid in advance. They might have a land range coming up or a machine to buy or something. So they would say, listen, I'm going to deliver you in, you do a contract for wheat 3 months in advance, but you pay them. Yeah. You pay them there.
There is the odd company at home that will pay maybe in 7 days, and that's their terms. But there's not many. They're most 28 days. But no, thanks. That's interesting, Billy. Thank you. So you can see we've just landed at Birmingham. It's very cold here, but also, which is quite frustrating, I've got some mosquito bites, which are very itchy. I've got about 6 on my head, 2 on my arm, 1 on my ankle, and Rhonda's got some as well. Anyway, that's it for this update. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I've just edited it on the plane, so hope you enjoyed looking at the docks at Drogheda, and we'll see you midweek.